You ain't seen nothing like this. It's impossible to resist. Just sit back and enjoy the view. Out with the old and with the new. Look forward, there's no looking back. Gotta be on the right track. You ain't seen nothing like this. 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 You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing like this.
This week's episode is filled with big bucks, friendships, and a deer that we call Frankenstein that you won't want to miss.
Last year, we acquired a farm that we were really excited about. Acreage-wise, it's not really that big of a piece, but it sets up really well. It's super secluded and actually has 2 separate access points. We call this farm the Topless Ranch, and we call it that because we own everything but the top. So after spending the entire winter, summer, and spring designing and building these farms, we got our trail cameras out to see what was moving on this farm.
Yeah, and I remember that first cutty back photo that we got on that farm. It was a side angle and there was a deer with just tines everywhere. This deer had 3 separate beams and we're like, what the heck is this deer? We were really excited. After getting more and more photos of this deer, different angles of him, we were able to see that this is actually a pretty young deer. So while we were really excited about this deer, we're gonna put him on the do not shoot list for this year, and let's try to get him through just 1 year and one more time to see what this deer could develop into.
Of course, first guy that come hunts this farm, our good friend Jerry Licati, and guess what deer shows up? Frankenstein.
Jerry's hunting one of our back new secluded food plots. So Frankenstein comes in, walks within 10 yards of Jerry, and beds down for almost the rest of the day. Jerry still ultimately makes the decision to let this buck walk.
So we were able to get pictures of Frankenstein for the rest of the year, and by the time January came, after the season was over, we knew he made it. And this had us really excited for the next upcoming season. So fast forward a couple months later, Jeff, you guys actually shed hunted Frankenstein's farm.
Yeah, we were really excited to get out on that farm because, you know, not only was Frankenstein on it and he made it through, but the deer actually started to pile into that farm late season. I remember we had Andrew Cheslock go out there and film one day, and he saw close to 150 deer and I think 30 or 40 bucks. So from a shed hunter's perspective, we're really excited to get out there, but we also wanted to find Frankenstein's shed too. That day we found a pile of sheds, and we also found one of Frankenstein's 3 sheds. We actually found the 3rd beam that came off of his right side laying on the edge of the corn and the alfalfa.
We're a big believer in having as much cover and habitat on our property as possible. So our strategy was to utilize access to our advantage and introduce new secluded food to this secluded farm. We wanted to put food as close to the deer's bedroom as possible.
So for our design, we were actually going to introduce 2 new secluded food plots in the timber where we were actually going to go in and excavate them out. The first one, we would actually tuck all the way back in the heart of this farm. We would use our south access point and follow a dried up creek bottom to access it. This creek bottom actually stays below the line of sight for the majority of the deer bedding up on the points. So getting in was actually pretty slick. This plot would be about 3 acres in size and pinched down in the middle with a water hole. The second plot was actually a small kill plot about 1/2 acre in size, which we would actually utilize our other access point to get in and out of. We excavated both of these plots from scratch, which required a lot of sweat equity, but we knew it would be worth it. When we were done, we brought in the guys from Buck Bribe to enhance the soil. A lot of times when you introduce new plots into the timber, you don't get good growing performance because the soil can tend to be a bit acidic. This is where the Ground Zero calcium product from Buck Bribe comes in. So moving on to the big plot, that's actually on the perimeter of this farm and utilizes our main access point. This is actually a destination food source that requires a lot of tonnage to support all of the deer that use this.
We got in here undetected this afternoon. We got beans, we have brassicas. Should be a good sit. We're gonna tuck back in here, see what happens.
Love the Grind Consulting specializes in designing and building world-class hunting properties. From concept to creation, every detail is finely tuned into a strategy to transform your property into something incredible. Our innovative concepts will not only help you to grow and hold big bucks, but also ensure that you are able to hunt them effectively. If you want to turn your farm into a world-class hunting property and increase its value, give us a call today.
So moving on to the big plot, that's actually on the perimeter of this farm and utilizes our main access point. This is actually a destination food source that requires a lot of tonnage to support all of the deer that use this. With this big plot, we got creative with two things here. First, we took the current food plot and introduced a new design within the food plot to get deer within bow range of the two blinds that we put up. So this plot would be all soybeans with a couple of acres of big sexy brassicas that would not only act as a food source, but a travel mechanism as well. This is a tactic that we use and use with success on a lot of our farms. So second, we actually approached the farmer that owns all of the agricultural ground on the outside perimeter of this farm and asked them if we could lease a piece of his ground and have him put it in standing corn for us. This not only provided good calories for the deer, but it also helped their access. We were now able to get into this big destination food source by using this standing corn as a screen, so getting in and out now became really easy.
What we have here, an example of pre-existing food plot that was already doing pretty well the way they were managing it before. But what we did with buck bribe is we just introduced some extra calcium, which is going to introduce that extra nutrient flow in the soil. And as you can see, it really took it to the next level. When it comes to this plot, it's a huge diversity when it comes to crops. As you can see, I'm standing in chest-high soybeans right now. Down below me on the valley, we have a beautiful brassica plot. And then wrapping around the whole outside is just a massive corn stand, which has really tall corn. I would say probably in the 10 to 11 to 12 foot tall range, which is going to allow these deer in this area, which has a very high deer population, enable them to feel safe in here, and obviously it's going to provide the tonnage they need to feed for the rest of the fall and throughout the hunting season. And as you can see, with the Ground Zero liquid calcium, we really delivered on both of those standpoints. We have some beautiful brassicas, some beautiful soybeans, really good corn stand, and they all are producing at maximum tonnage for what they can in this type of soil and these type of growing conditions.
So when this season rolled around, we were actually really excited to see Frankenstein show back up, but he was looking a little different this year.
This year, Frankenstein is actually a big mainframe 8 with a big unicorn sticking out of the middle of his head. So leading into Brian's hunt, at the end of October, it's pre-rut, mature bucks are on their feet, and we went into this big destination food source because we had pictures of a lot of deer. A lot of deer were using this food source. Frankenstein was using it. We felt with our design and the way that the walking strips were integrated into the food, that if we could just get Frankenstein out into the plot, that we would have a good chance to get him within bow range.
We got in here undetected this afternoon. We snuck around through this sweet corn screen that they set up, about 100 yards long, 12 foot tall, screen back to a secluded little destination plot. We got beans, we have brassicas, we have obviously the standing corn behind us. All these hills and ridges funnel right down to us here. Should be a good sit. We're gonna tuck back in here, see what happens. Oh, there's a buck, big buck, right in the corner. That's the big 8. Sean.
Here at Buck-Bribe, our products are based off of nearly 50 years of research and development. Buck-Bribe's fertilizers are designed with primary nutrients, micronutrients, and minerals to ensure that your buck is getting exactly what it needs to grow to its full potential.
Buck-Bribe's liquid calcium and liquid fertilizer products are perfect for whether you're applying out of a backpack, ATV or UTV sprayer, a pull-behind tractor. They deliver an ease of access in a liquid form, ensuring that those deer are going to be on that plot all the way from spring through winter for when it's time to take that shot.
At Weiss Realty, we specialize in land and rural properties. We're locally owned, locally operated. We specialize in anything country, including hunting land, farmland, hobby farms, rural build sites, and waterfront properties. We deal with everything from 5-acre woodlots up to 1,000-acre farms. We've been here since 1979. We're very familiar with all the processes involved with land and rural property sales.
We love what we do, and we look forward to working with you to buy or sell in Wisconsin or Minnesota.
Oh yeah, there comes one on the bridge there. Yeah. Big 8. It's a nice buck. Yeah, it is. Left side's got that crab on him. Yeah, he's heading up. He's going up. No, he's heading up. It's going up. His nose down on the ground. What's it look like? I just see tines and I can't get a good look at his tines up there. He didn't look overly old when he ran out here, so that makes me wonder if you're not right. He could be the one that's on the do not shoot list. Totally, that's him. That's Scissors. That's totally him. He had the tine and he has that little crab up front. He does.
One of the first bucks that shows up is actually a buck that we call Scissors. Great young buck with a lot of potential and on the do not shoot list. So while he looks really good on the hoof, even a little bit better than the picture suggested, he's off limits for Brian.
Oh, there's a buck, a big buck, right in the corner. That's the big 8. That's a straight 8, dude. That's Frankenstein. Things are about to get real. He's gonna come right down that lane. Right down. Which one? Shoot, I'm gonna have to go in the corner, dude. You don't know, man. No shot, dude, no shot. Just here. Can you shoot out that window? Not this window. You can't shoot out that window? Okay. Adjust here, adjust, and come this way, come this way. Slide and shoot. Okay, he's gone. He's gone? Yeah, he's going out the corner there. Yeah, he might come back though. Okay, let's move this chair this way. Did he go in the corner? No. Do you want to try to shoot this way? Call him. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Okay, yep. I follow you. We're gonna have to open the corner window. They said him right there. Oh yeah, there he is. I got him.
Hey everyone, we're out here grinding every day, turning these properties into world-class whitetail farms.
Be sure to follow us on social media, subscribe on YouTube to keep up with what we're doing, and learn how to take your property to the next level.
Do you want more exciting and educational hunting content? Then head over to the Love the Grind YouTube page, where you'll find new innovative tips and tactics to up your hunting game and learn how to take your hunting property to the next level. Watch the process. Watch the results. Subscribe to our channel for free and interact with the experts. We're here to help you. Love the grind.
He just went up top the hill, took those 3 does up on top. Hopefully he squirrels back around, the does pop back out in this field. When he came out the far lane, all I could see him doing was trotting straight down this grass road, you know, and which is pretty much what he did, but he came by us here so fast that he was hardcore to me, like hard. I mean, there was no taking that shot, and he was moving so fast, you know. I was in the right spot, it just, this window wasn't open, and in hindsight, when we were talking about, here he comes, what window show up, should just open both of them. Yeah. And just been done, you know? Yeah. What a stud. When he walked out down there, I'm like, he's got to be, what, 4 inches outside his ears? Like, what a stud. That's really good news for the week, you know what I mean? Just because that's a mature deer, and that other youngster, I mean, 3-year-old sunlight spot, both pushing does. I mean, that's a good sign for the week, if we don't kill him tonight. They said him right there. Where? Oh yeah, there he is. All right, what's our game plan? I think we need to open this window now. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, you'll just, no matter what with this position, I think you'll be able to just back up, because from that angle, that window, I can lean all the way out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yes, right. You're gonna have to back your camera up a little bit. Okay, wait. He's moving down that way. I'm gonna stay right here. All right, it's open. Yeah, go ahead. He's coming. He's gonna turn left. You gotta open that corner one, man. Okay. Dude, what a circus. I can't believe that worked out like it did. I really can't. That was fun. I gotta see that shot now. I'm nervous. I'm like, you know how you always second guess yourself, but as soon as I saw it disappear, it was like low. Let him lay last night. The shot wasn't exactly what we wanted, a little far back. We're pretty confident that he didn't go far, but it's best to back out and give him the night to rest. Back this morning, hopefully drag him out.
0 blood on that foot.
0. And there's like white hair. 0 blood on it. There's fat on it.
You got it?
Yeah, I do. I'm just all nervous now. Why does the arrow look? Because there's not a drop of blood on the arrow. It's like fat. Not a tremendous amount of blood.
Did you see him prior to that?
Look at this, dude. Look at that. What a cool deer, man. Holy cow. Oh my God, what? Look at that, dude. How freaky is that, eh? That is cool. What an awesome, awesome hunt. That boy didn't go very far. I mean, I'm only, what am I, 180, 200 yards from the blind? I mean, we did the right thing by waiting, there's no doubt there. Oh, thanks, brother. Seriously. Yes, that is good lesson for myself and anybody, right? It's like, oh, maybe you should just grab the arrow and check to see how hard he was bleeding when he left the wood lot, you know? And if we would have done that, we would have busted him because he's about 70 yards from the wood lot, and he laid here facing back towards where we were at, and we made the right call sitting until way past dark, letting him lay here and expire on his own. It's a good lesson for everybody.
Brian wasn't even the only one out of the group to have success this week. Brian's close friends Jason and Bobby were also able to seal the deal.
The energy when we recovered Jason's deer was unlike any energy I've ever felt in a recovery. Seeing Jason, Bobby, and Brian there together to experience that recovery, Jason's biggest deer ever by far, and to see his friends just bring that energy and lift that excitement was just unbelievable. I feel like every person and deer within 5 miles heard us that night.
I didn't think it was him because he was so dark.
Congratulations to all of the hunters, and congratulations to Brian on a buck that is one of a kind.